Hi, my name is Gabe Arnold. I'm the founder and CEO of Business Marketing Engine. Today, what we're going to talk about on the show is how you can make sure that your content and your content marketing stands out from the crowd and really gets the results that you need. And I have a process and a formula that I've kind of stumbled into initially and have refined that I think you can use as well, whether you use the same medium I do for this inspiration and to make sure your content is really working, or use a different channel. The structure and process I'm going to share with you today on the show is going to help you do that. So stay tuned and we'll break it down for you. So one of the things that I enjoy doing, it kind of helps me wind down, relax, and also really helps me in business, which I'll get into in a minute, is I binge watch television. Once I get hooked on a show, I watch it on my lunch break. I watch it on the weekends. I squeeze in episodes whenever I can. And I originally was kind of hard on myself about that because I was like, man, like, is that really productive use of my time? But after really thinking it through, I realized, it's family time to watch TV sometimes, just like it is when we go for walks or do active things as well. And it also does two things for me mentally. One, it calms me down, it relaxes me. Watching TV, especially the more exciting, the more dramatic, the more violent, to be honest, those types of things really engage me and it calms me down, interestingly enough. But it also drives a lot of creativity and inspiration, because part of being a marketer, which all of us are as business owners, as entrepreneurs, we all are in the marketing game. Part of being a marketer is finding inspiration to keep driving us forward and give us new ideas. It's finding times and ways to get inputs creatively, and also time to think about those inputs and see, how we can apply them to our business. I've had a couple people say this in a different way to me from multiple different kind of marketing spaces, masterminds, and trainings I've been through. So I wish I could attribute this to one person, but it's a little bit of an evolution between multiple people saying it to me. But marketing is showing people that you have what they want, and that you can deliver those results for them. And so just keep that in mind as we think through this, because getting people's attention, helping yourself stand out from the crowd, is an art and a science. It's a practice and a daily habit, and it's also a strategic thought process. So I'll share with you one of the things I do, because it may give you some ideas, and it'll also help you kind of apply this principled approach to other things that you do in your life. And it's going to help you drive more ideas. It's going to help you be strategic in your marketing, and it's going to help you think about this a little bit differently. So I'll give you the example of currently one of the shows that's giving me some inspiration and creativity and just keeping me entertained. I'm watching a show on, I think it's from Paramount Plus, and I'm watching it. It's called SEAL Team. So it's about the Navy SEALs, and it's like been running for 6 seasons. There's like 20 some episodes a season, which is great for me. They're about an hour long because that gives me tons of seasons and episodes to binge watch. So I'm super entertained. One of the things that I started doing as I started watching the show is paying attention to the writing, paying attention to how they structured the show. And because they're Navy SEALs, of course, they're going to war, they're saving hostages, they get in jams and binds. There's, of course, a bunch of drama on the show, and that's what keeps me engaged. And so I started to identify a pattern in the show where I noticed that the show would start out, typically things seem smooth or good, unless it's like a follow-up episode from the other one. But in an encapsulated story in one episode, things start out great. And then they always hit a couple big roadblocks or big challenges or huge problems. Like one of the SEALs gets injured, or one get captured, or they get stuck out where they don't have support from other military forces. And there's typically two major barriers, major blockers, major problems in the first half of the show, in the first 30 minutes or so. And then it clears up. They solve the problem and everything seems like it's smooth sailing. And then typically in the last 10 or 15 minutes, a new bigger problem comes up that's a surprise, whether it's relationship drama between some of the characters, or, their partners back home, or whether it's issues on the battlefield, or, whatever happens, another massive challenge comes up, and then they overcome that third challenge, and they either resolve the episode and set it up, so that everything's in good shape for the next episode, or they just carry that tension through to the next episode because they don't resolve the problem. And that's a really simple explanation of kind of like the story arc and the character development and the strategy that they use in their writing. And I started to notice it because I was like, oh, I'm just going to watch one more episode. And then, 3 more episodes later on the weekend, I'm like, oh my God, like I need to go do something else and be productive. But it helped me kind of define and clarify what's the strategy that they're using that keeps their audience engaged and keeps them watching. That's how they make money. That's how they serve their customer. I'm their customer who loves watching that kind of thing. And, I pay for my subscription to their service. And so they keep me entertained and they keep me around and they keep the longevity of the relationship. When you're thinking about your content marketing strategy and how it's going to stand out from the crowd, ask yourself how you can bring in almost like that television writing approach and style to your content. How do you catch people's attention with something interesting? How do you then bring up the real challenges, the real issues that they're going to have in trying to solve the problem that you solve? And how do you guide them through that and move them to a solution is like, great, this will solve it, or this is really good. By just starting to notice the pattern that you see in other marketing and mediums and channels that you watch, you'll start to notice their strategy and approach if you view it objectively and view it and engage in it and consume it for entertainment purposes. You can do both in a lot of cases, and you can start to notice those patterns, and then you can test things for yourself when you're promoting your content. When you're putting things out there, you can test things, see if it makes sense, and adjust it. And it needs to match not only your style and your company's culture and show up in the ethical way that you want to, with the tone and style and attitude. It needs to match who you are and what you want to do. And it also needs to achieve that goal of being engaging and interesting and maybe even entertaining or funny, or, catching the attention of your audience so that they stick with you. Another way to think about this is if there's a podcast that you really like and you follow it all the time, or if there's somebody that you follow on social and you read their long ass posts that they write because they're super entertaining or informative or helpful, is start to read and evaluate those and say, what's the approach, what's the structure, and what's the style that allows this person to get attention, get engagement, and then start conversations. That's the point of our content marketing, right? To get attention, to get engagement, and to start conversations. And so by patterning after what you see other people do and really making it your own and customizing in a way that feels natural to you and authentic, but also with the mindset of saying, how do I make this engaging and entertaining and interesting and attract the people that I want to attract? It's going to help you really help your content marketing stand above the crowd. It's going to help you think differently about how you approach conversations. Because when we want to serve people at the highest level, when we want to solve their problems, when we truly want to show up for our prospects in our community so they can become clients so we can serve them, we have to be strategic. We have to think differently than just the way we view the world. And we have to put ourselves in their shoes and say, what's going to catch their attention? Because if I get their attention, I have the opportunity to serve. If I never get their attention, I'm not going to be helping them. So it's important to get that attention in a way that feels natural and aligned and healthy and ethical for you, because we can see people that get attention in ways that we're not comfortable with, and that's not who we'll model after. But maybe, again, there's a TV show that gives you inspiration, or a podcast, or an email newsletter, whatever it might be. Open your eyes to the strategy and structure that they're using in their content marketing. Test it for yourself, review and see what's working, and then adjust. Marketing is an ongoing evolution of learning, and it's always about helping people understand that we can solve the problems that they have and that we have what they want. And so this year, open your mind up, be a little bit different, be creative, and test things so you can see what works. It's going to help you stay fresh. It's going to help you stand out from the crowd. If you need help with any of this, please reach out. It's what we love helping our clients with, whether we execute all of it for them, or for some clients, we actually just meet and support them and give them ideas for what they're going to produce for part of the content they put out. And then we support that and promote it and help them attract their ideal customers. If you need any help with it, you can reach out to businessmarketingengine.com. And my last ask is, tell me what creative new idea came to mind today, or tell me what creative new idea you're running this year for your content marketing. I'd love to hear your ideas and thoughts. I appreciate you taking time to tune in today, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's episode.